Greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. And Sir Daniel, we are back with our QP one-on-one. And I'm super excited for the brother that is joining us this evening.
One-on-one. We're having some fun on Q Points tonight.
Hey.
I just had to do it. It was just right there. But yes, I am excited about that. You know, he's been a day one supporter, and it's just exciting to touch, to make these touches with people that have been riding with us for the longest time, and just to get to know them and find out what's going on in their lives and in their particular city, their part of the country, because that's what Q Points is all about.
Yes. Before we jump into the conversation, Sir Daniel, summer is winding down. You have a birthday coming up. How you feeling?
You know what? I am I don't know. I think about it every now and then, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful because this is a milestone.
Yes.
Especially when I think about all the people that have left.
Yeah.
Have gone beyond to the beyond before they can even get to my age.
Yeah.
And so I feel blessed about it and very thankful. So yes, I am excited about it.
Awesome. One of the things that's really important to us, as DJ Sir Daniel indicated, is that we have an opportunity to chop it up with folks. And tonight, y'all, joining us on the show, we got his bio and everything. So it's really, really dope. But as Sir Daniel mentioned, Trey Payadue is one of our day one listeners. And Trey was raised on the West Bank of New Orleans, the New Orleans metro area, in a small town called Marrero. I think, okay, yay, haha, all right, we're doing good. Louisiana. Brought up in the Black Catholic Church, Trey was completely immersed in New Orleans music and Black culture through local fairs and famous celebrations like Mardi Gras, New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, and the Essence Fest. He was also exposed to various styles of music such as gospel, pop, rock, funk, hip hop, bounce, and his first love, rhythm and blues, at a young age. His inherent love and appreciation paired with his exposure to New Orleans culture and events ignited an infectious passion for music. Trey quickly became known as the Music Man, amateur house party DJ and mixtape go-to guy for new music. We got to talk about that when he comes up. Currently, Trey juggles a 9-to-5 while moonlighting as a curator of good music, a patron of popular music and Black culture, and a student of where all three intersect. You can follow him on Instagram at Something Severe. That's SUMTHIN. Just so y'all know. But Q Points family, we are so excited to welcome one of our favorite folks to the show. Trey, welcome to Q Points.
Hello. Hi. How y'all doing?
Fantastic. So happy to have you here with us and to just, finally get to chop it up with you. So when J Ray was reading off your bio, I just kept thinking to myself, Trey is like the quintessential Q Points listener. You are the person that when we conceived this podcast, you are the person that we had in mind. So when Q Points came around, like, was it a easy sell? Was it a hard sell? Were you on board immediately? Tell us, what did you think when you first ran into Q Points?
It was not a hard sell at all for me. Because like these are the types of conversations that I have. So like my friend Lance, these are the conversations that like we've been having since 2000 when I met it, right?
Yeah.
So like, I think I once wrote a review for you guys where I said it was my conversational fantasies fulfilled.
Yes.
That's exactly what it is, because it's just really just chopping it up about music, talking about history. I like doing my fan theories of what could have been, what should have been, and all of those things. And so, yeah, so easy sell.
Thank you so much. So Trey, we want to take a moment and just like love on you a little bit. So I feel like the people need to understand how important Trey is to what we do here at Q Points. So I looked up some stuff and I think this is really dope. So Q Points was started in 2021. You were the very first person. Well, okay, we went through a period of time, right? We were growing Q Points, right? We were trying to figure out what we were going to do. So we had like membership tiers. You were the first person to buy one. And not only did you buy one, you bought a year, right? So that's you. Also, I was like, oh, Trey, you were literally the second customer in our store. And not only were you the second customer in the store, you bought almost everything that we had. Like out the gate. So and everything that we've done. So you've been part of focus groups that we've had. You've been part of like we tested out our sidebar show like earlier in the year. You were, of course, part of that. You show up on these Thursdays when you can show up. You listen to the show when you can listen. We just appreciate you, man. So just thank you.
I appreciate it. Again, I enjoy it. So that's why, I support. If, whatever I can do to support, that's what I do. So,
man,
listen, this is when people say support is a verb, this is what they mean by that. So yes, we absolutely appreciate you and just love you day one, love you down. And if you haven't noticed, and we did say in the intro that our brother is from New Orleans, specifically the West Bank, correct?
Correct.
So let's just hop into it. When people find out that you're from New Orleans, I'm pretty certain they make assumptions about what kind of music you like and what you're into. So just give us a little insight into the breadth of what you appreciate. We heard a little bit in the bio, but tell us a little bit about your music taste.
So again, my first love is just R&B. I was raised on R&B, right? That was my first love. But of course, I grew up in the church, so I mean, of course, there's the gospel influence there. I'm in New Orleans, so there's jazz, there's funk, like there's origination of hip hop, right? Like bounce started in New Orleans. It's the home, right? So that was our version of hip hop that later led to like Juvenile and all these other folks. So of course I was a part of that culture coming up. But also like I have influence from both my mom and my dad. Like my dad was into like rock, like I would go steal and listen to some of his like rock albums, like Pink Floyd and stuff like that. So like of like everything, which is honestly kind of the culture of New Orleans. On any random night, you can go somewhere in New Orleans and you're gonna find at least 5 bands playing in different pockets of the city, and they're all playing different music, different things. And so yeah, so growing up in New Orleans, it was a combination of a lot of things, right? All at once.
To that point, who was the first artist that you remember just like absolutely falling in love with, and that was like your artist? Who was that, and why did you fall in love with them?
So that is an easy one for me. I'm gonna be honest. Janet Jackson.
Okay.
All the way, 100%. So I was a kid. I was born in 1981, right? So I wasn't here for the first album, but I made it for the second album, right? and, and so like just seeing like of course videos with thing. I tell people all the time, I'm an MTV baby, right? I was born when MTV was created. I had big cousins who I grew up, that's what we watch. You sitting on my lap, we gonna watch MTV, we gonna watch these videos, right? And so one of the first artists that I just absolutely fell in love with the music was Janet Jackson, right? I was a kid who loved to dance, right? There was always so much energy in her music. Like the subject matter of the music was always to me just like fun, and it just kind of captured my imagination as a kid. And for me, it's just one of those artists because like I really feel like Janet came into her own on that Control album. So like
Yes.
I think that's when I gained consciousness or awareness. And so for me, all of my life, Janet has been one of those artists that have been a part of my life, like from the very beginning.
Ooh, okay, so now we have to ask the question. It's funny that you
Sure.
mentioned that you came in on Dream Street because, as DJ Sir Daniel knows, and you probably know by now, Trey, that's like not my favorite. So that's really interesting. So here's the question: what's your favorite Janet album? I'm curious.
Velvet Rope.
Oh, good
Hands down.
choice.
Velvet Rope. It
Mhm.
is for me, it is, I guess, her most introspective, most personal album. For me, that was my teenage years. So
Yeah.
like also I'm at that point, I feel like most people love the album, honestly, usually when you're about that age because you're feeling all the feels.
Right.
So there were just things that I identified with. It was actually probably my first, I guess you could say, major concert that I had ever been to.
Mhm.
Like was Janet Jackson Velvet Rope tour.
Yeah.
So like for so many reasons, that's my favorite. But just music alone, like to me, that's my favorite.
Mhm.
That makes a lot of sense. And Janet um has done the Essence Fest numerous times, and I kind of want to go back to New Orleans for a second, because prior to us coming on, we were talking about New Orleans being in the zeitgeist right now, a lot of conversation around New Orleans. We are in the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina, so that's bringing up a lot of different conversations as well. I saw recently a viral clip going on. There was a second line band going down the street, like they usually do,
Mhm.
and apparently they went past a bar, and this bar, of course, was full of clear people, and they were incensed that the second line band was playing outside of the bar. I don't know, maybe because they had a concert going on or something inside, and they came out and they literally attacked the band. So I guess my question, not really a question, but an observation, is around the country we see instances um of interlopers coming into the culture, coming into situations where we have set a tone, we have created a culture, we have created this atmosphere, but then there are interlopers that the come into the spaces that we've created, but then they want to come in and you know push us out, or or be belligerent or whatever. There's a whole lot of different feelings that go on sometimes. But as a native and somebody who is there, what is your experience with that when you see people that don't necessarily, I don't know if they don't have the respect for the space, but they're trying to commandeer it. They're trying to, turn it into their own, or and not be respectful of the people who are the essence of the culture. What is your experience with that? And talk to us about, you know, do you feel like essence that New Orleans as a culture is being protected, or is it being exploited?
I think so. To agree, I think both are true and both can be true. Right. So this is a city that's deep in like black culture, black heritage, right? Music is a central part of the city, right? And you always have, this is one of those cities where people of all shapes and sizes, they move to the city
Mhm.
because of the culture, because of the vibe. But there are also those people who move here, but then want to change aspects of the city, right?
Mhm.
So, like, it is not unusual
Mhm.
for a band to be playing in the street. It is not unusual for you to go down Bourbon Street or some other street and there's teenagers, sometimes kids, playing the bucket drums on the
Mhm.
street. Like, it is not unusual to see those things, right? And so you do have people of all cultures who come down and respect it That's what they came here for, right? New Orleans is literally a city of we all outside. We outside.
Yes.
That's what New Orleans
right.
is about, right?
Mhm.
But you always have those folks who come in, and we know how it happens. They come in and then they want to change things, right? It's like you move into the French Quarter, you pay $1 million, $2 million to get this property in the French Quarter, but then you get mad when somebody is playing in the band till 2 in the morning outside your doorstep.
They was here
Like
before you.
they were here before
Exactly.
you. They were
That's
here
so
way
crazy to
before
me.
you. Right. So I mean that's a thing. And it also like culturally, like I'm probably gonna say something that, might be a little controversial, but like there are styles of music that have started here or things that have started here that other folks have kind of taken a piece of that culture here, a piece of that culture there. Like there's so many people in New Orleans that influence the music industry, period. And this has been forever, right?
Yeah.
For years, right? Um, and so there are things, and the latest thing that I can just point to is, for instance, right? So bounce culture, right, started here in New Orleans. It was based off like one of the original bounce songs was actually based off a track, Drag Rap, that was a rapper or somebody from New York City, but they
Dun-dun-dun.
took that one thing and then turned it and flipped it to something else, right? And so bounce music has grown over the years. Then you had a period in the 2010s where, I'm gonna call out some black people too, who they latch on to
Of
this culture, this black music, and then all of a sudden you see it in popular music. Drake is doing it. What's G-Eazy is doing it. Like all of these people are drawing from that culture because that's the sound they wanted at the time. But then when they're done, they leave it right there, and then we on to the next thing, right?
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, there are artists who pay respect and they do it right. Right. So, like for instance, Beyonce. People gonna say Beyonce. Beyonce has borrowed from Louisiana culture, New Orleans culture for years, right? But I've always felt like Beyonce has kind of been, like she grew up in Houston. A lot of us Louisianans, New Orleans folk, we have a synergy with Houston. That music traveled back and forth. We got screw music, they got bounce music, right? And so, but there was always like a respect there. And like she's borrowed things, of course, but at the same time, Beyonce was also one of those folks who have given props or recognized the folks who like created it. Like, I've been in a concert and she on stage, she was at the Essence Fest, Josephine Johnny, and she said, I got this from y'all. Y'all better get hyped. Like, right. Like, so like acknowledge what you take or what you recognize,
You know what, Trey? I'm curious because you mentioned second line, or we were just kind of having this conversation. If you can describe for those who don't know, I don't want to assume that the people that are tuning into Q Points know what that experience is like. How would you describe the second line experience? The
I
feeling,
think
all of it.
I don't know if there's a good way to describe it because it's really so many things, but really it's just literally the power of culture, everybody being on the same page, right? And just experiencing, right, this music, this joy. Sometimes it's for a purpose, right? Sometimes we are notorious for celebrating somebody's death with a second line, right? So it might be somebody famous who the city has embraced, and we're gonna have a second line to celebrate, right? It's the celebration of life, right? And it's a celebration of the life we have, celebration of life we're remembering. And so it's really just one, I don't want to say big love fest, but it's really just the spirit. It's really one of those cities, or it's one of those things where you just feel the culture and the spirit of the city. It can't best way to describe it.
That's a great point because I think with a lot of black diaspora, well, is this the right word? Diasporatic or diasporic?
I think that's right.
That sounds right.
People, right. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, black folks. We, wherever we are, spiritually, we have an outlook on life and death. And I think across the board, you see when somebody transitions, it's a celebration because we that has been passed down, is that we understand that there's something on the other side. And in order to usher that person into the other side, there has to be some type of celebratory a celebration. And the music is with that. And I love, and it's so funny when I hear people, and I've said this before on the show, I hear people talk about or try to create lines between who we are as people, whether we can where the shit dropped us off, and trying to say that we're not connected. No, we all are connected. We are. Like when you listen to bounce music, to me, call and response is something that we see across the diaspora. Call and response is in every last one of our cultures. And so that's why when I got introduced to bounce music, it just felt natural, like a natural extension of how we all celebrate. I'm from the West Indies. Carnival is the same thing. We're all out in the street in plumage, colorful, winding our waistlines to no end. And so I don't know, when you hear things like that, when you hear people try to separate us by countries and by and especially Black people, Trey, like, how do you feel when you hear that, knowing what you know about music and knowing about the history of Black people as this world is concerned? How does that make you feel?
Look, music is like powerful, and especially in the diaspora, right? Music is one of those things that connects us. It's like food, music, right?
Yeah.
And
Same thing.
we all draw inspiration, and there are overlaps or things that, that are a baseline, right? And so we've just been influenced by other cultures. And so as we spread, those things just translated differently in different areas of the country, different areas, of the world, right? Like there are similarities, right, to Haiti. For New Orleans, Haiti is our sister city, right? There are similarities down in Brazil, right? So like some of this music, when you listen to some of the music, right? There are so many similarities. Like there's a baseline there. And I think we're all connected in more ways than like people realize or people think. And especially when you just talk about Black music, like there's a baseline there, right? Especially in America that, you just can't deny that.
Yeah. That this is bringing up for me, Trey, is the fact that I'll use me for example. Music for me is about the feeling. And when you start talking about that baseline or those feelings that kind of translate across cultures or across, wherever we are, we know there's a feeling that we get where we can all look at one another and be like, oh yeah, that's it. Like that thing right there, they in that thing. I'm curious for you as a music listener, what hits you first? Is it like melody or is it like lyrics? Like where do you go first as kind of like your barometer as a listener to know if you're really feeling a song?
For me, the first thing is always melody, right? It's always melody. Um, as my good friend Latrice would say, is that beat,
That
right?
beat. Shout out to
That's
Latrice.
what it is that beat. It's the sound, it's the feeling, right? It's feeling the bass in your chest, right? It's feeling the music and the spirit of it. And to me, that's what carries. So it's the first thing for me. But then of course, like lyrics matter, right? Lyrics matter. And lyrics gives I guess the beat direction, right? It tells us where we going, what we feeling, right? It's a narrative to the story, right? And so it's equally as important, but the first thing for me is it has to move me, right? And whatever I'm feeling or take me somewhere, right? There's some music that takes you this place, there's some music that takes you another place. So
real quick, so this is perfect. So a couple things. Who what you really into like right now? Like what is your thing that you like really into right now? And also we want to know, is there somebody from Louisiana that we need to be paying attention to that people are not paying as much attention to? So who you listening to and who should we be paying attention to that's from where you from?
okay, so I'll start with who I'm listening to, right? So first of all, I just have to preface, I'm coming off of Beyonce summer, so like Beyonce is
It's
still
a
in
Cowboy Carter
rotation
summer,
for
right?
me. It's still in rotation for me.
Right.
But Beyonce aside, okay. So like I listen to like things I listen to on a daily basis. Like I listen to Victoria Monet, I listen to India Shawn, Janelle Monet, Kate Trinata. One of my favorites, like honestly, for the past few years since he came out, was Khalid. Lucky Day. Lucky Day is like one of my go-to like R&B things. I've been feeling on the hip hop side, Megan Thee Stallion all day, right? We
Yes.
got a Houston connection. Doechii has been like dope for me. I listen to a little bit of everything. So like, I'm on that Clips album, like
That joint is
like
so good.
it's really, 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 really good, right? And even like artists that don't necessarily get their shine, right? But like Duran Bernard, I went to his concert like a couple months ago. Amazing concert. Destin Conrad. There's another artist I've been kind of listening to. I think it's spelled KWN. I think it's K1.
Oh, yeah. I like their work. Yeah.
I listened to that album and I'm like, okay, going into rotation. All right. As far as like Louisiana artists, based Louisiana, I mean, we really have so many, but I can tell you right now, my absolute favorite band is Tank and the Bangers, right? Um, I've seen them several times, and every time they come down, I try to go see them at some point, right? There's a new artist. I think he just dropped a project with PJ Morton a couple weeks ago, Lareezy. So young kid doing hip hop out of New Orleans, and it's young, it's fresh, it's different, right? And so I've past couple weeks I've been giving them a spin. You mentioned Dawn Richard earlier,
Yeah.
so like she has always like obviously national fame, Dirty Money, to be fair, I didn't care for her when she was with that pop group.
Right.
Oh,
Her solo stuff
You
is
know,
so dope.
her
the
So
solo
TK.
stuff, even like the Dirty Money stuff, and
yeah.
then everything forward from that. Like she's just been like super creative, and I love how she honors her roots. Like she did a album a couple years ago that I love. Um, let's see, local folks. There's an artist, Jelly Joseph. I don't think she's ever put out any projects, but she occasionally or used to sing background in Tank and the Banger. She was on that Tiny Desk. She was the background singer, but like she does shows locally around New Orleans area, and she did a song with a bounce rapper, Hot Sizzle, that like has always it's on summer rotation every summer. Like um and then that's kind of like the local folks that I listen to. I will throw out there, I love Lucky Day. He is from New Orleans.
I didn't even
Mm-hmm.
realize that
And
until because Kari mentioned it in the
yes,
chat too. I didn't know that. Yeah, Lucky Day was from New Orleans.
Lucky Days from New Orleans. And then also there, and see, the name is gonna escape me just because he's not singing right now. He's been in his acting bag. What is this guy's name? It's gonna come to me. I gotta remember who I'm thinking of. His name escapes me right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's what I've been listening to, local people. Yeah.
Hearing you talk about them and describe them, I know that there are so many people, especially on the local level, that are beloved, but they don't necessarily have they don't have a label, they don't necessarily have projects, but like that whole like the culture of the bounce artist, like your either like your Katie Reds, like your like your High Sizzle. What is my guy's name? People are always comparing him to Frida because he came out before Frida, and people are always like, well, why aren't you as big as Frida? You know who I'm
Does he
talking
know me?
about. Sissy
Is
Nobby.
it Sissy
Sissy
Nobby?
Nobby, you know, people in that bag. I've noticed that the city embraces them. Um they make a living clearly because they do shows on a regular basis. But I find that such a fascinating ecosystem that you don't even necessarily need to venture outside of New Orleans to be considered a star in New Orleans. And so I don't know, talk to us about the MC factor, the MC factor of being a bounce artist in New Orleans, and like what makes somebody special in that respect. Because like you said, somebody, they don't necessarily have an album, but they rock the hell out of these parties. And
Yeah.
talk to us about the chanting and what makes a good chant.
You know, so I can say as a kid who grew up with bounce, right? The chanting, it's a thing, but at the end of the day, right, this person was the MC and they were all about bringing like the energy. I can't tell you what makes a good chant because it could be something so simple like she went to the store like that. Like that literally will make a chant out of anything, right? But like I've had the experience of being in a club before in New Orleans, right? In my late teens, early 20s, right? And we're in the club and they just hand somebody a mic and say, here, do something, right?
Yeah.
And it will literally be anything can come out their mouth, right? A lot of bounce songs that, became big songs were literally like club recordings. Somebody was in the club and just happens to be recording what was happening in the club, right? And so, honestly, a part of the call response is just having good energy, right? It's knowing who your audience is, I'm sure, and speaking to that audience, right? It's keeping the energy, keeping the party going, because a lot of it is based on keeping the party going and the energy that the folks want to feel, right? And so I don't know, it's just been fun. I'm gonna just say, it was the time to be alive in the late 90s, early 2000s, from the 99 to the 2000s. It was real.
2000, right. But
Yes.
J Ray, what I find so interesting about that, it's that um New Orleans literally with that scene is literally like the last living example of what New York used to be when MCs would just fall through the club. They didn't have their own records. They literally are just rhyming off of instrumentals. Like you wrote your rap based on the instrumental that you memorized, and if you heard it that night, you would start flowing to that. The kids down in New Orleans do the same thing. They come up with a chant right off the top of their head, or they've written something, and I think it's just so funny to me or I'm not even going to say that it may have started. It could have been a simultaneous combustion of
Uh-huh.
artistry from both up top and the bottom. But I just find that so fascinating. But there's that through line, that connection still.
You know what this is also bringing up too? I'm wondering, I don't know. I've been to New Orleans now a few times. So Trey, thank you so much, because like one of the first times I came to New Orleans, you like scooped me up in the car and we went around, had the best time, right? So I'm curious to know in the I guess I'll use nationalization. I don't know if that's really the word I want to use, but as things have become, oh, hello, mom, my mom's here. I'm live on
Hi,
TV.
Mom.
I saw the
But
envelope. I was like,
I'm like,
something's
what?
happening.
Um,
You love it.
1 second, y'all. She's very committed. I'm curious to know in kind of the standardization of like radio, the way that things have just kind of everybody plays a little bit of the same things. Has New Orleans been able to maintain that thing that makes New Orleans New Orleans? Like, are there still stations where you can hear like local artists being played and all of that stuff? Has some of that been able to be maintained there? I'm curious.
I think so. I mean, clearly there is a nationalization, especially like local radios. Like, so one of the local radio stations was Q93, right? And so it's kind of gone the way in some ways where now the syndicated shows have taken over. So now we're playing Breakfast Club in the morning and Angelique Yee midday. When I was growing up, there was a morning show,
Right.
right? It was a local morning show. There was somebody who did the lunch. There was somebody who did the rush hour. And then Wild Wayne would come on after 6 or 7, right? Take us home. And then there's that late night person, right?
Yeah.
And that late night is like obviously throughout the day, we would play the R&B and Q93 was a kind of a hip hop station as well. So they would play those things. But like at night, right? It was like a lot of local stuff like being played. Like we were playing local stuff. I forget, and it escapes me right now, but there used to be like an hour where they would play all the bounce music on the radio. Like
I love that.
and like that's what it was. And so, in some aspects, yes, they still do that, like usually on a Friday night or Saturday night or something like that. You still get that. I don't think as much, but you still do get that. With the invention, everybody's streaming now and everybody's doing their own thing. But locally, like people are still playing that music.
That's awesome, man. So in terms of music at this moment, what are you noticing? Like, what are you picking up on in terms of like stuff that you like trends that you like, and what are some of the things that you're like, I'm not as into that. I'm not really into this. So trends that you like, trends that you don't like.
Okay. I'm gonna stay on the positive side right now. I really like that. I feel like we are finally turning the tide on this depression that has happened in hip hop and R&B music in the 2010s. Like, so I feel like we're finally turning the tide into like music that is more like joyful and it's different. It's not all of this slow, everybody is not on syrup. Like, I feel like we're finally turning that tide. The other thing is that I'm enjoying seeing artists bring like musicianship back, right? And like especially in like the R&B space, like there are artists like her, right? Who, is playing the music, right? There's artists like Victoria Monet, who like you listen to her album and it's not just like, sample tracks. Not gonna say she doesn't have anything mixed in there, but there's like musicianship in it, right? Like you can easily translate to a live band playing this on stage. You got R&B is not dead. Like there are people out here who are doing the thing. It's a modern R&B, but still R&B like nonetheless. And then you got people who are doing the traditional R&B as well. So I like that we're kind of seeing that turn, especially in R&B. Also in hip hop, I'm happy that some of us are rapping again. Some of us.
Yo, they rapping now. I'm excited.
Right.
It's a very exciting time.
They are rapping again. And so like, I'm loving that trend. I'm loving that trend. I think, a lot of folks are getting back to like lyricism, right? And like words meaning things like, like all of that. So like I am excited to kind of see that. I guess things that grind my gears a little bit. I know we're in streaming culture right now. So like everybody is making short tracks to like, I guess, appease the streamers to get the streams up. And so those types of things kind of grind my gears sometimes. So when I see artists who like actually think about a full length something, I appreciate when the artist does a full cohesive album. Like bring back albums, bring them back. Like, give me a concept give me a rollout, like, give me something, right? So, that's the thing that I'm still looking for. And there are artists who are out there doing it, but that's what I want to see.
I love that. You know what? The time has come, J. Ray.
It has.
That we are going to turn the tables. And Trey, we want to give you the opportunity to ask us anything that you've always wanted to ask J. Ray or myself in regards to Q points, podcasting, whatever it is that's on your mind. This is your opportunity to just, get inside our heads and just ask any question that you've ever wanted to know.
Okay. Before I do that, I'm just gonna take a second, right? And so you gave me your flowers earlier. So I am gonna give Jay Ray his flowers right now. Because like I mean, we've been knowing each other, I guess, for like
20-ish
20
years.
years, maybe at this point.
Yes.
But you may not even know or remember this, but we're coming up on the 20th year anniversary of Katrina, right?
Yeah.
So I'm bringing this up because I was reminded of this. But when Katrina was happening, I was not in New Orleans at the time. I was living in Baton Rouge. And so I was not, quote unquote, directly impacted, but I had lots of family and friends and everybody who, people who were impacted by it. And what I remember, one of the things that I remember is Jerry called me on the phone. He probably doesn't even remember, but he called me on the phone not even a few days later and just called to say, hey, how are you doing? How is your family? What is going on? What is happening? Like, and for that, I will forever be grateful. So I'm going to give you your flowers. And that is a part of the reason why I support everything that you do, right? It's because just that little bit of kindness, just goes a long way and goes the distance, right? So I'm gonna give you your flowers first, okay?
That doesn't surprise me
Man.
one bit. That doesn't surprise me one bit. That's who J. Ray is.
Thank you.
Yes, he's very special, very special. So I guess question that I have: what is your favorite part about podcasting? Specifically, what's your favorite part about Q Points?
Ooh. It's easy for me. This is my favorite part, actually. Like
Okay.
well, one, this is OG Q points. For those of you that are new to Q points, I know we do a lot of stuff now, but this is kind of the purest version of what Q points was. We started like this. It was conversations live between Sir Daniel and I love the opportunity every Thursday to hop on and talk. So this is my absolute favorite part of what we do.
Awesome.
I am going to say I really I like the cooking stage. I like the moment before you guys get to see us, before we come before you. I love when J. Ray and I get to, and it's hilarious when we get on these sprees, we get on these tangents, and we just have one idea will spark another idea, and it's just limitless. And yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. And I think what I enjoy about this podcasting journey is the fact that I've partnered up with someone like a J. Ray that makes it easy, that makes it enjoyable, and knowing the fact that we really do have a love for what we're talking about makes it so seamless and so easy for us to do. So I think that's the best part, is that if you're going to do this thing, if you're going to do it solo or if you're going to do it paired up or in a group, just knowing that you are, I guess, equally yoked with the person that you're working with really, really makes a difference in your journey.
Love that.
Awesome.
And ditto to everything.
Good answer. Good answer.
Anything else, Trey, that you want to ask us?
hot take. Okay.
Okay.
There's a clip going around of this argument between has Beyonce
Oh, are we about to do
superseded
that?
Michael Jackson?
Let me throw
Hot,
this.
hot take.
I'm gonna throw this keyboard. I'm gonna let Sir Daniel do it. Like,
I don't know. See, I'm going to be honest with you. Conversations like that exasperate me because it's just one of those things when you try to throw Beyonce or Chris Brown in those conversations. It's like when we were growing up, nobody ever said, or at least I didn't hear anybody ever said, "Oh, that's the next Sam Cooke."
Michael, you know what? That's Prince is the next Little. You know he better than Little Richard.
You know
Prince
what I'm saying?
wouldn't even say. Prince wouldn't look at you crazy.
Prince would never say that. Yeah.
He never say it.
So I just think I think whenever we hear those things based on the times that we're in, I just think it's rage baiting, it's clickbaiting. It's just a way to get people to start these fake intense conversations about people that you don't even I don't even think that you're really into them like that. A lot of the people that want to have those conversations probably know a handful of Michael Jackson songs. And that's it. And that's it. And want to make those comparisons. I don't even think Beyonce would make those comparisons.
She would not. She would not.
She would not.
Michael Jackson, and we've done this show about one of ones. Michael Jackson is one of one. It's a comet in human form. You will never ever see that again. Beyonce is exactly the same thing for completely different reasons. You will never see anyone like her ever again. So I just, as someone, and I don't mean to sound elitist, you know, even though Q Points podcast is elite podcasting and music conversation.
Talk your stuff.
We don't indulge in those conversations because we just know better. I'm sorry. We just know better. We just don't think it's, we're up here on our pedestals and we're looking down like,
hold on. We're like Blue Ivy looking down from the balcony.
Yeah, like y'all still talking about stuff like that? Come on, you can't be serious.
So no, I absolutely agree with everything that Sir Daniel said. I think it is weird. I think it's part of stan culture too.
Yes.
I think that's where this really stems from, is that people, it's okay to have your faves. Listen, I grew up and had my faves, but I was also clear that my faves have dropped plenty of duds. Like, I'm like, I love them. That album sucked really bad. Like, it's okay. It doesn't take away anything from them. It's just like everything can be a bop. So you're able to have not even context, but it's just like the ability to be able to have multiple feelings about an artist. And so I really feel like stan culture invites people to be like, if you like this person, you can't like that person. No, folks. We were running around here liking Prince, Michael Jackson, Madonna, Tina Turner, Janet. We was liking them all. The people who liked Diana Ross also liked Gladys Knight, also liked Patti LaBelle. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be so tied to it. And it is a weird conversation to be like, Beyonce has surpassed Michael Jackson. What is the measurement of surpassing Michael Jackson that people are using?
Exactly.
In 2025, like,
in 2025, what is it? Yeah,
I don't know what that is. So,
and I like the fact that we didn't even know. I like the fact that we didn't have as much access as kids today have. Like, I like the fact that we didn't know until recently that none of the girls really rock with Diana Ross like that, or we didn't know that Michael Prince and Rick James secretly had like little competitive beefs amongst each other. We didn't know any of that stuff, but we didn't care.
Right.
We did not care. We cared about the end result. Are they going to make me shake my ass? Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I need to know.
Right.
This is like so dope, Trey. Thank you so much for just everything that you do and being part of this. Is there anything else? So we have a few minutes. Is there anything else random happening in pop culture that's been kind of like that you've been paying attention to that you want to just kind of bring up on the show? It could be anything. It don't even have to be music.
I don't know. It's been a quiet week, which is a good thing. You know,
it's been a rough 2025.
It's been a rough 2025. I feel like the past 6 months I've been aged so much.
Yeah.
So much, But right now, I mean, I would like to go into this fall, right? Like, I know it's not gonna happen, but I need everything to calm down just a little bit. Just everywhere and everything. I just need everything. Let's just take it down a notch. So that's what I need right now. That's what I need. I do want to jump into, so just piggybacking on what you said earlier. I thought about one of my pet peeves is the comparison of the folks. I actually Lance in the chat. I hate when people compare like artists. I'm like, that artist is that artist. They're doing their thing. You can say all the things that you love about them, but it doesn't have to dim somebody else's light. There's no comparison there. So just to piggyback on that, yes. And I also long for the days where we didn't know as much about these people. I need some people to just log off.
I wish we had some more mystery about the artists. We didn't know what Stevie Wonder was doing in his off cycle, child. We thought he was in the studio somewhere making 1,000 songs and he was going to pick the best 20 for the record. That's all we knew.
That's all we cared. Yeah.
And he was blind. There was no
right.
There was no speculation about whether or not
that is a weird
really
speculation. They'd be like, Stevie Wonder can see. I'm like, but that's not true. So
that is so weird.
But in 2025, everything's up for debate. Like
everything. I do want to give a quick rest in peace to Danielle Spencer.
My goodness, yes.
That's just another piece of our childhood. Gone off into the ethos. But God bless her. Yeah. She definitely, she was the archetype for
sassy black sister.
Sassy black sister. Oh, and
I'm gonna tell mom.
Even though Norman Lear, a white man, was writing all of that stuff, it was still very much not unique, but there was a realness to it. It was something that it was relatable. It was still something relatable. I'm an only child, but I saw people with little sisters and how they carried on, and that was definitely something that we witnessed, in black families across the country. So she definitely added to that, to the tapestry of black artistry. So big shouts out to Danielle Spencer. I did not know that she appeared on an episode of Soul Train, and that allegedly she said this in her interview with Don Cornelius, that her, Haywood Nelson, and what is Roger's real name?
His real name.
But the actor that played Roger put an album together or a song together.
Really?
Yes. I'm pretty certain. I don't know if that ever has seen the light of day. I think somebody has, probably has a reel-to-reel of it somewhere, but I can only imagine it was probably given like self-destruction. We're all in the same gang. No, because she said it was a song about the anti-gang violence.
Oh, okay.
And so, of course, this was in the 80s. I think this might have been around the same time that they were doing What's Happening Now. Which I'm sorry, I love, I love camp. I'm an 80s kid.
I thought that was a fun show.
I
Good
love
show.
the foolishness of the reboot and how they were always doing the Cabbage Patch. And Ernestly Thomas, thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. But yes, I love that. And what's her name? Anna Marie.
Oh, and Anna Marie, who played on In the Heat of the Night too. She's a legend in Black Hollywood.
Underrated actress. So funny, so hilarious. So I didn't mean to go down this. These are the kinds of conversations, y'all. This is how we get into these rabbit holes.
Can I ask a question? I know we was gonna go here, but since we're here now, we just talked about what's happening now. What's your favorite 80s sitcom, Trey? Just curious. Black sitcom. Or that feature black people, because none of them were really black sitcoms.
227.
Oh, good choice. Yes. That was a black sitcom and a great show. I'm telling you, Marla Gibbs sang the heck out of that song.
Yes.
I mean, No Place Child.
Oh, yes. What was it? Ooh, baba doo bop, my boy. Yes.
Yes.
Legendary.
All of that. Wait a minute, J-Ray, have we talked about this? What is yours?
Oh, 80s black sitcom. I think it is Amen. I think it's Amen.
Another awesome theme song.
Yeah. Another awesome thing. Baby, the Black Shows is going to give you a theme song. Listen.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Sir Daniel?
Oh, that's I don't know, because those are some heavy hitters. 227, Amen. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I don't know. 227 might have been it, because Jackie Harry was a
legend.
Everything.
She earned every bit of her legend. She earned that on Emmy. That show. She sure did.
Earned that Emmy, and I mean,
Sandra Clark was it. Okay.
Everything. Yes.
I don't know. There's definitely there were a lot of shows that had black people in it, but they weren't the focal point. Of course, we had our Websters, we had our Different Strokes, and all of those shows meant something to me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 227. We talking about theme songs and whatnot. And
you know what? Now
go ahead.
I changed my show. It's actually The Cosby Show.
It's
so weird. Yeah. It's so weird that for whatever reason, I situate The Cosby Show in like this whole other realm.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh wait, no. Your favorite 80s sitcom was The Cosby Show.
It really was.
It just seems so much bigger. Yeah.
Definitely. Thursday nights they had Thursdays on lock.
Yeah.
That was Black America appointment television.
Absolutely.
You all had to be there. NBC, what was it? NBC be there? That was the slogan.
Because they did the whole. Remember they did the commercial. They had Jack Gay and Marla Gibbs and doing
all the networks and everybody. Yeah.
But listen, y'all, thank you so much. Trey, once again, thank you so much for being here and being part of this conversation. So if y'all are new to Q Points, be like Trey. Subscribe wherever you are. Tell your friends. Share the show, because if you like Q Points, chances are they will like Q Points. Visit our website at qpoints.com. You can watch our entire archive of episodes, and there are lots of episodes to see. Visit Q Points Magazine at magazine.qpoints.com, where you can get some other content and support the show by shopping our store at store.qpoints.com. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
We certainly do. So without any further ado, what do I say every week? In this life, you have an opportunity. You can either pick up the needle or you can let the record play. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J. Ray. That's Trey Payadue.
Yes, there you go. And this is Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you all on the next go round. And I mean, No Place Child.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.